Where in the world are you going? So yes, we have this one right here. Why are updates coming so slowly for Starfield? That's a big question. And I do have an official update about those updates because, yeah, some things are happening and it looks like we could be getting an update to Starfield within a matter of days. I'll explain that in just a moment. And also, we've got to talk about some concerning news from Microsoft. They're really going all in with AI technologies for game development. We have some concerns from voice actors because it seems like, yeah, this technology is going to be used to develop AI driven voice work for NPCs, for dialogue, that sort of thing. That is extremely concerning. We'll talk about it. Also, yeah, some modders come forward and talk about the modding scene for Starfield. And someone discovered something very cool about Bosco, what you can actually do with command prompts. But yeah, check this out right here. So yes, it's that time of year again. The holidays are right around the corner. And thankfully, I have a way for you guys to save lots of money and time and get free breakfast for life. So what in the world are you talking about, Robbie? Well, I'm talking about HelloFresh, the ultimate meal kit solution that provides delicious, easy to make meals that are also healthy. And for the holidays here, you do not want to be stuck in the long line at the grocery store. Instead, HelloFresh will deliver tasty meals straight to your doorfront, and it'll save you a bunch of money as well. And one thing I love about HelloFresh is the meals take around 15 minutes to prepare and with minimal cleanup. And get this, meals are pre-portioned and ready to cook. That includes tasty breakfasts, quick lunches, party-ready treats, or get-togethers, and don't forget those cozy dinners. And yes, you get a wide selection of tasty meals. In fact, you can choose over 45 weekly recipes and over 100 curated picks from the HelloFresh market. And ingredients come from the farm to your door, so you know they're fresh. So join me right now, eat healthier, feel free from stress, and save money this holiday with HelloFresh. Get free breakfast for life with code POGOWG free at HelloFresh.com. And that's one breakfast item per box while subscription is active. Click the link in that description below or scan the QR code on the screen with your phone to check out HelloFresh. By the way, special thank you to HelloFresh for sponsoring this video. All right, so yeah, let's get into this. The big question is, why are updates coming so slowly? We have this one posted right here by Sheree, who says, I'm just wondering, there are still so many bugs and needed improvements, but updates are incredibly slow. I thought after release, they would turn out updates to fix issues like there's no tomorrow, but Bethesda is taking it very slow, and the few updates that came out only did very little. Are mods the reason? It really does seem like Bethesda has a habit of really relying on modders, the modding scene, to fix some of the critical issues. Of course, we can go to the back end of Starfield, the Steam database here, and see that, yes, more recently we have the beta update 2 hours ago. DevTech and QA staging main, debug, and staging main have both been updated as of today, meaning something is imminent. Now, when you see the beta being updated in the back end, we do know that we are going to be getting an update beta release for DLSS support, and you'll be able to try that in the back end. They're going to apparently be doing more of this, it seems, where you can test out the updates before they're fully released. Now, this upcoming update will also have quality of life improvements. They haven't given us a full list of patch notes. I really do hope that they provide that so we can see exactly what's going on there. But yeah, considering that they did announce previously that the beta update is coming this week, for those of you that are through Steam, we'll be able to go in there, or on PC, I should say, we'll be able to go in there and be able to choose the beta branch and test it out for yourself and give feedback on what you're experiencing. So I'm curious to see how this actually works out within the community. Now, very big discussion right now in the gaming industry is this one right here from Star Wars to Starfield. Voice actors hit out at Microsoft's AI decision. If you want to start a voice acting career, don't bother. That's kind of gut-wrenching to hear them say this. Now, let's get into exactly what has happened recently with this. It goes on to say this from GamesRadar.com. Says Microsoft has introduced its latest AI efforts, which are capable of generating character dialogue, and it's got voice actors fearing for the future of the industry. And I say rightfully so, of course. Now, on November 6th, Microsoft announced it had partnered with InWorld AI to develop an AI toolset for its studios that will empower creators in dialogue, story, and quest design. Now, the new toolset will help developers generate things like scripts, dialogue trees, quests, character dialogue, and more. Threatening roles in the industry like writers and voice actors. Understandably, some voice actors have already voiced how problematic this could be. And you know what? It makes me think about how unstable this industry is, even when things are going extremely well. Look at Fortnite, had 40 million concurrent players more recently, and they still laid off a ton of people, which in my opinion is just inexcusable. Figure it out. There's no reason for this madness. So yeah, let's get into this. It just feels like this right here is a dangerous precedent. Of course, I feel like in some ways it's going to be great for game development, only in some ways. But at the same time, the biggest worry when you introduce AI tool sets like this is you lose the personality of the game. You know, when you have dialogue that's completely prepared by AI, that can actually threaten the personality, the DNA of the game itself, and you can lose that in transition. So that's also another big worry. And of course, the job loss. That can be absolutely significant. Now, Elias Tofexis, who is mainly known for the role as Adam Jensen in the Deus Ex series, and Sam Coe in Starfield, has tweeted their frustration over Microsoft's announcement, saying, "I've said it for years now. If you want to start a voice acting career, don't bother." The actor continues, "All those jobs of nameless background NPCs that gave us all our start in the industry, they're all going away. I'm already bitter." Again, just hearing him say that is gut-wrenching, because at a certain level with voice acting and basically any career path, you have to have a starting point. You have to start somewhere, usually as an intern, or in this case, as like some random NPC, and then work your way up. Now that we're going to have AI-driven dialogue and AI-driven voiced characters, that's going to be a huge void for people that are trying to make their way into this industry. And what you're going to be left with is essentially a couple of voice actors that rule the entire space, and that is once again deeply concerning. And you know, I have to also bring up Elder Scrolls 6. I really, really hope Microsoft and Bethesda are super careful about implementing this AI technology in Elder Scrolls 6, because once people pick up on it, I guarantee you this, there will be huge backlash from the community if they find out that half the NPCs in Elder Scrolls 6 are going to be driven by AI dialogue, AI voice work, that sort of thing. That will be deeply concerning. And again, I personally think the big worry also is it's going to strip the personality of the game, the personality of the people creating the games, because you can feel that with like Skyrim, the personality of the creators coming through the game. So yeah, that's another deep worry right there. Now, we got to talk about the modding scene, because check it out right here. It says Starfield group fixing Bethesda's bugs say their job is tough as mods feel like an afterthought. The only reason we can mod it already is because we've modded other games using the same engine and know what to do. Now, this article comes from Eurogamer.net. Let's get into it right now, shall we? Now, it goes on to say the following right here. I spoke with Timothy Hulgari of Aldridge, one of the founders of the Starfield community patch, to find out why the team came together in essence to do Bethesda's work for them, and ask whether they've ever had any contact with Bethesda. So yeah, if you guys aren't familiar with the community patch, it's a big endeavor. It's pretty cool how they're doing this, by the way, because they want it to be kind of open source in terms of who's getting credit. They want the credit to go to the community because they're requiring you guys to really help them with feedback and that sort of thing. So I really, really admire them for that approach with this mod. But yeah, let's get into what's going on with the modding around Starfield. And we really want to see that creation kit, of course, released. Now, go on to say this right here. It is evident from analyzing both the data structures in the provided module files and from decompiling game code that modding capabilities were not a consideration in the development of the game engine up to now. I'm going to pause it right there. I just don't even know how that would be possible. You know, that is extremely disappointing to hear. Of course, we are going to be getting creation kit support in 2024, but it sure would have been nice to have that right out of the gates. I think that was honestly super important to Starfield. I just thought that was going to be the way it was going to be, given how successful Skyrim has been with the modding scene. So yeah, let's keep going here. Now, it goes on to say this. This can also be inferred from the fact that there has been no quality assurance testing of modding functionality from Bethesda, as various current engine bugs that appear in the context of using mods would have been obvious showstoppers. Any existing modding capabilities appear to be incidental, stemming from the engine's legacy code base and the required work needed in the context to maintain functionality within the confines of editing Starfield.esm using internal versions of CK2. Now it says Hulgari boils this down to simpler terms for me. It's essentially a hack, like they built this game thinking they would add modding someday, and they haven't actually added it yet. The only reason we can mod it already is because we've modded the other games using the same engine, and we know what to do, but a lot of stuff is really broken compared to other games. Hulgari estimates the modding scene for the game won't take off until next year once Bethesda releases official mod tools. I'm kind of curious to see what happens with that. If the modders will stick around this game. It seems like so far they are extremely passionate about fine-tuning this game, about producing things like the Starfield community patch. So the passion is there. Will that passion survive until, Creation Kit releases in 2024? That's the big question. I think yes. I think that the Bethesda modding community is a very unique bunch, and that they are extremely excited for Creation Kit to be releasing here in 2024. So yeah, I think Starfield will completely change in 2024 with that sort of support. And again, you're going to see Creation Kit release, and then on top of that, we will be getting an expansion down the road as well. So there is that to consider. But it would be nice, I will say, if Bethesda really worked on communicating more with the modders, because CD Projekt Red more recently has really embraced that, working with a lot of the modders. In fact, they've actually hired a bunch of modders to help with like Cyberpunk 2077, which I just think is really, really cool. It's just so cool to see that sort of thing happen. Now, we also got to talk about this one right here. Shrinking Bosco with one console command is a great quality of life improvement. And look at this shot, little Bosco right here. I love this idea. Let me tell you what, I think this would be great, because more recently I've kind of like let go of Bosco as my companion, because he can be so annoying when it comes to going through doors and him stopping you from getting around. I feel like he's just too big. So this is like an ingenious solution, as long as they like keep his inventory space the same. I mean, come on now. It's just a game. I still want this as kind of like an official option to be like, hey, I would like to shrink Bosco down, please. Thank you very much. Let me know if you guys agree or not. But officially, I don't think that will be like supported by Bethesda, like an official patch that says, oh, you can go into your menu and shrink Bosco down. Although I think it would be a cool option, I gotta say. And now it's time to go over your top comments. Let's do this. My most recent video was new update beta reveal, but what is it? New features coming and much more. So let's see what you guys had to say about this one, shall we? So there's this one from Lisa, who says this: I've got over 200 hours in and I'm not bored at all. I like the way the 4 main companions were designed. If I have any complaint, it's that I wish there were a couple more of them who aren't part of Constellation. Yes, absolutely. I'm hoping we'll get them in a DLC at some point. I think the game is beautiful. I think the quests are compelling. If that reviewer says there's nothing to do, then he's not looking very hard. I have a huge list of quests, especially under activities, that will keep me busy for a long time. I'm just starting to get into shipbuilding and haven't tried outpost building yet. Is Starfield perfect? No. I've been gaming since the early 90s and haven't run across a perfect game yet. But I've gotten my money's worth already, and I expect to be playing for years. I honestly don't get the haters. You and me both, Yeah, Starfield, it's not a perfect game. Does it have to be a perfect game? No. And I do want to say this, though. I really wish Bethesda would communicate more on bigger updates, because I would like to see bigger updates for this game. I think it is very much deserving of it. Also, Microsoft has Bethesda's back right now. I really think Microsoft should pour some money into getting this game updated even further. That's just my opinion on it. But what is here is just an absolutely excellent foundation, at least in my mind. I'm still enjoying it. Now, user says this: I really hope they keep polishing this game. Personally, I love it and what it could become if they are cool about it. I can't wait. Exactly. Yeah, that's exactly my assessment on that one too. Now, Misty says, I think some future updates should include terraforming, the ability to create a hospitable environment. Then, as with Fallout 4, inhabitants would begin to drift in, ideally with the ability to spark a new storyline. Dude, I love the idea of terraforming. It fits so perfectly with Starfield. Hopefully Bethesda can make that happen. Can you imagine them announcing a terraforming DLC? That would be very, very cool. But there it is. Thank you all so much for watching. Thank you all so much for the love and support on the videos and the comments. Stay tuned here for more Starfield news and updates. I have you guys covered. And open world gaming goodness and I will see you all next time. Take care.